The set it and forget it payday routine that has helped me achieve my financial goals without having to look at a spreadsheet or check my bank account every single day. Convenience, ease, and set it and forget it type of money management is what I'm interested in. Looking at spreadsheets and budgets and checking my bank account every single day definitely wasn't for me. So I created my own auto money management system that ensured that everything is covered and my money are working automatically for me in order to achieve the goals that I had set up for myself. This is the only money management strategy that I have used for so long, and I swear by it even to this day. In order to set up this system, you will need two bank accounts. One is where you get paid your salary, and the second one, which is what I call my spending money account. Bear with me, it will make sense as we go through this. Open up your bank account. This will literally be the only one time that you will have to do this. Open up your bank account and see what are your fixed expenses. This would include anything like mortgage, rent, utilities, insurance, TV, Wi-Fi, any sort of expense that you know it is fixed and the amount won't change month on month, unless maybe there's like once a year rise or something. List them out and see when they are due. The next step is to go and log into your online accounts, let's say for your electric or your gas, and change the billing cycle of that bill to align with the day that you get paid. Or if you don't have an online account, just call up the provider. Let's say if it's for council tax, just call up the council and say, please, can you change my billing cycle to the 28th of the month, because this is when I get paid and this is more comfortable for me. Trust me, it is very easy and it doesn't take that long. The second thing that you need to do is set up a direct debit so those bills are automatically paid from your account and you don't have to think, oh, is this paid, is this not paid? What this will do is very simply ensure that all of your bills are covered, they are taken out automatically, you are not missing anything, therefore you are not building up backlog of payments that you need to think, to remember, to cover, etc., etc. And what happens is when you get paid and when those bills are taken automatically, you see what you have been left with and what you can play with for the rest of the month. Now that we have all of the fixed expenses covered, the next question is if you have any debt. If you have any consumer debt, any personal loans or any credit cards, please, if you have any credit cards, set up direct debits so automatically the minimum payments are taken out of your account. This will ensure that you don't incur any late payment fees, which can add up quite a lot. An average late payment fee is between 12 to 25 pounds every single month, and if you have few of those, that's already 50, 75, 100 pounds extra on top of all the interest that you are paying already. If you have a personal loan, normally they are a fixed amount every single month and they're already set up on a direct debit. The next step is, if they don't align with your monthly salary, when you get paid your salary, again, call up the credit cards providers and your loan provider and ask for the billing cycle to be changed to the date of your salary or the closest day to your salary. This will now ensure that your debt payments are part of your fixed expenses and we have ensured that they are covered no matter what is happening and you are not missing a payment. Now we are coming to step number 3, which is the goal setting. The ultimate way to set up financial goals in order to achieve financial peace, at least for me, is number 1, to get rid of any consumer debt. Number 2, to have saved a emergency fund. Number 3 is to save up for big purchases rather than financing them. And number 4 is to invest for the future, a little bit extra if you are not already. Let's take me as an example. I was single, I had a mortgage, which obviously is a big responsibility, and I had a little bit of consumer debt. So my goals were to, number 1, pay off my debt, save up an emergency fund, save up for any big purchases that I wanted to do in the future, and invest for the future as well. Number 1, how to pay off the debt faster. Since we automated the payments for the credit cards and the personal loan, maybe you only have credit cards, maybe you only have a personal loan, but go list your debts from smallest to largest and start tackling it by adding an extra payment or extra few payments every single month. There are different strategies to pay off debt faster. I will make a separate video on this if you're interested, but for simplicity's sake of this video is list your debt smallest to largest and start adding an extra payment on your smallest debt. Once you get rid of the smallest debt, transfer this extra payment to the next debt, and etc, etc, and this should help you get rid of the debt faster. Again, this is happening by automation. So we already automated the debt payments anyway. They are getting taken out of your account no matter what. So I would just set up a standing order, not a direct debit, a standing order to the credit card or the personal loan of an extra payment every single month, no matter what it is, even if it's 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds, no matter what you can afford, it's still something and it still helps and it's still starting from somewhere. The best thing to do is to start today. Don't postpone it, don't ignore it, it will just get worse. So I did that. Number 2 is to save up for emergency fund. I already had saved up an emergency fund, so that was not a concern for me. I only had 2.5, almost 3 months worth of expenses, just because I was single and I was quite confident that if anything was to happen, I would find a job quite easily. And on top of that, I had taken 3 types of insurances when I took out my mortgage in order to cover myself if I was to lose my income or if something happened to me. Number 3 is to save for big purchases. Now, for example, after I bought my property, I really wanted to upgrade my car, but I thought that the better use of my money at that point in time was to get rid of any debt that I had, any credit card balances or any personal loans. So I paused the savings for any big purchases. I still added a minimum amount to my savings, and this is automatically again happening. Set up a direct debit to a savings account of 50, 100, 200, 500, 1000, whatever you can afford during that month. So because I wanted to prioritize paying off the debt and saving up for a big purchase was sort of put on the back burner, I sort of transferred all of my available payment to the debt, and I was just adding a tiny bit to savings every single month, just in case something came up, like I wanted to maybe do my hair, nails, I had to pay something for the apartment, etc, etc. So I set up a direct debit for a savings account in order to build up a little bit on the emergency fund that I had already set up. I would advise this to happen to a higher yield savings account, even if it's not in the same bank that you use to do your normal banking for your salary and bills. It is even better, in my opinion, not to use the same bank, because it is separate, you don't see it, and therefore you are less likely to dip into the emergency fund for non-emergency things. And last not but least is investing for the future. Now, normally in the UK, you are automatically enrolled in a work pension. If you are not, please, for the love of God, do it. Those people that are going around saying, oh yeah, I need my money now, I don't need it later, I will be dead later. No, that is just no comment, but no. Don't do that. The retirement age is increasing, the state pension is not that much, and you will be starving in your late years. People are increasingly living longer and longer, and instead of being a burden to our countries and our children, or if we don't have children, to anyone else. We don't have to be a burden to anyone else, so please sign up for your work pension. 99% of the work pensions in the UK have a employer match, which means that if you contribute 4 or 5% from your salary, they will match the same thing. So essentially you are getting free money. Why would you not sign up to get free money? That is beyond my logic. So just please do it. For the time that I have been working for the company that I'm working at the moment, I have built up nearly a £30,000 pot for practically doing absolutely nothing, and my employer is matching my contribution. So I am not only saving up for retirement without literally doing anything, but I'm also getting extra for doing anything, like nothing. This is your sign to sign up for your work pension, and yeah, just do it. Work pension, money management, and where it is invested, it is a completely different topic. But if you haven't opted in, just opt in and don't opt out is my biggest advice. Now, on that point, I also recommend investing a little bit extra on the side because retirement age is increasing. I think in the UK is now 67 years old, and you never know what's going to happen. You might want to retire a little bit early, and if you retire early, that means that you won't be able to access your pension, or you won't be able to get state pension either. So getting a little bit invested extra in order to have for a buffer, let's say if you decide to retire, for example, at 57 instead of 67, you have a pot of money that you can live off for those 10 years, if anything was to happen. So I would advise to use stocks and shares ISA for this vehicle. I love stocks and shares ISAs. This is a investing account that you can use in the UK. You can invest up to £20,000 a year, which is tax-free. It is growing tax-free, and you can withdraw it tax-free. So essentially, you are paying all of the tax now, you are investing now, but it is growing tax-free, and it can be withdrawn tax-free, which is absolutely amazing, especially if you are in your later years. And also, you never know what the tax rates will be in the future, so you have a little bit of an insurance from that point as well. It is, in my opinion, one of the best tax-advantaged account that UK has to offer, and me having an European partner at the moment and talking and researching about the European countries, they don't have that. So here in the UK, we are extremely lucky to have that, and please utilize it. Now, the platforms that I love using for investing in stocks and shares ISA for the future are Vanguard and Trading 212. The only downside with Vanguard is you either have to start with a lump sum of £500 or you need to invest £100 every single month if you want to do a direct debit monthly. Now, I know £100 or even £500 can be quite a lot for some people to start off with, and this is why I recommend the next platform, which is the Trading 212. It has most, if not all, the Vanguard index funds and ETFs, and it does allow you to start investing from as little as 10, 20, 50 pounds, whatever you can afford in that month or season of life. If you want to sign up for Trading 212 and you haven't already, the link is down below in my description box. We both get a free share, so it's essentially, again, getting free money for setting yourself up for success. So why not do it? So investing in the future, I would advise to start off with as much as you can. If you can afford, to invest 1,000, 2,000, that's great, absolutely amazing. If you are one of those people who are just getting back on your feet and you're prioritizing debt payoff, etc., that's totally fine. But I would just say start off with maybe 50 or 100 pounds. 100 pounds invested every single month for 40 years is over 1 million pounds in the nest egg. Let that sink in. 100 pounds invested, it's over 1 million in 40 years. So even if you invest 50 quid a month for a long time, and if you stay consistent, if you don't touch it, you will have a pretty good nest egg, which will allow you to maybe retire early, maybe do something, maybe even improve your lifestyle when you are in retirement. So please take that into consideration and set up that automatic monthly payment. That was a big mouthful, so let's do a quick catch up. You will have a pretty good nest egg, which will allow you to maybe retire early, maybe do something, maybe even improve your lifestyle when you are in retirement. So please take that into consideration and set up that automatic monthly payment. That was a big mouthful, so let's do a quick catch up. So now that I have gone through step 1, set up my fixed expenses, to be taken out automatically and aligned with the payment date. In step number 2, I have set up my debt payments, and those are also taken automatically on Payday. In step number 3, I can see what I'm left with and set up my financial goals and automate those also. So if it is to put an extra debt payment, automate that, set up that standing order, set it and forget it. If it is to save up for an emergency, set up that standing order to a savings account, set it and forget it. If it is to save up for a big purchase, set up that standing order, set it and forget it. And if it is to invest in the future, set that direct debit or standing order to your stocks and shares ISA, set it and forget it. Now I can finally see what I'm left off with for the rest of the month. And what I do with this money is I transfer it to a separate bank account. And for this, I prefer accounts like Monzo or Starling because it gives you a breakdown of what you have spent your money on during the month. So you kind of get a budget breakdown without actually budgeting. So whatever I have left over, I transfer to I used to use Starling or Monzo, as I said. I transfer it there, and this is the money that I have for the rest of the month. And I can do with this whatever I want. I can pay for groceries, put gas, buy something if I wanted to shop for makeup, clothes, whatever it is, buy a gift for someone, whatever. This has worked for me so wonderfully because all of my goals are covered, everything is automated. I don't have to think that I'm missing something, I don't have to think that I'm forgetting something, I don't have to sort of go back and forth between a spreadsheet and my bank account every single day and see, oh my god, is this bill paid off, do I have enough money left, and what is happening. And something that also happened to me before is, for example, if I didn't know when bills were coming out and not, some people will be paid in the beginning of the month, some bills will be paid in the beginning of the month, and then I would think that I have certain amount left to spend, but then more bills will come out and then you are left with a lot less than you thought in the beginning. So it's all getting really messy. In that way, you ensure that literally everything is covered. You don't have to think about it, you don't have to go and check, and it's all set up for you automatically. And then your spending money is you're going in your spending account, your bank accounts look nice and neat and clean. If you were to apply for a mortgage, for example, which is another topic for another video, but stay tuned. And it's all very clean. The only time you have to sort of go here and there and look, I'm not saying don't ever check your bank account anymore, maybe just go through and review here and there just to check that maybe something out of the ordinary hasn't come out or you didn't get charged extra for something else, but that is literally a 5-10 minutes glance through if you have set this up already once. And you can just do a quick audit for 5 to 10 minutes to see if there wasn't anything extra, there wasn't anything out of the ordinary. And if there is, then you can take the appropriate actions and call up the providers and report it. And if there isn't, then you're on your merry way and you can live your best life and achieve your goals without having to lift a finger anymore. Thank you so much for watching. I was really happy and excited to share this with you because I can see a lot of people complicating payday routines and budgeting with very complicated templates, which is not necessarily needed. Let me know, what do you think? Let me know if you have implemented any of this already in your automated payday routine, in your money management system, and what maybe can you improve, or what can I improve? So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below and stay tuned for the next video.